So my name is Eric Clausen. I'm the founder and CEO of Pandemic Insights. When the pandemic began in 2020, we thought about a tech stack that could be developed that would complement existing countermeasures like vaccines. Today, I'm pleased to report that we've created the first pathogen surveillance solution for the world. It's a multi-pathogen tech stack. Interestingly, we use a hybrid capital model. That means we'll have a foundational layer of venture funding. The balance of the funding is provided by governments and foundation. The target markets are the 50% of the people in the world that are currently unvaccinated and at-risk communities worldwide. So when you think about COVID, it's basically a movement-based phenomenon. So it's the butterfly effect on steroids. Prior to the pandemic, no technology existed to provide insights at a building level around infection rates. Businesses and policymakers didn't have a data science capability to look at what was happening at the local level, how to make decisions like remote versus on-site work. And years ago, the tech did not exist to actually build the solution from compute resources and data sets. Well, today, that's all changed. We have figured out how to actually build a human risk management solution for any pathogen anywhere in the world. The architecture is multi-pathogen. In the US, where the CDC reports 3,000 statistics a day on infection rates, we curate 120 million building level risk indexes. The tech stack has a personal risk index that's coming from Johns Hopkins and Oxford University. There is the location risk indexing, and the important component is the center, which is behavior modification messaging. We're actually helping people understand movement choices they can make to reduce the rate of infection. On the corporate side, we look at human load balancing. So for businesses wanting to minimize infection rates, we can channel people through a business based on average balancing levels. Amazon's interested in the supply chain routing stuff we've developed to look at how you source products around the world, and everything is fully encrypted end to end. So here's where it gets interesting. When you think about the movement of really important things, it comes down to people through air traffic control systems and the fintech systems that protect the movement of money worldwide. This comes down to putting a person in motion or assets in motion and wanting to safeguard their delivery. A pathogen response solution has to use the same standards. So we're actually working with Amazon Web Services and Salesforce to develop global standards for pandemic management. Now, what this means is we're going to use an exclusive model to deploy the tech worldwide. So when you think about the mobile app, look at Germany and what they did. They have a single app sponsored by the Ministry of Health. We are getting sponsors from the Ministry of Health worldwide. That means you're the only product allowed for distribution at the consumer level. On the business side, Salesforce has agreed to build the future of work SaaS instance on the salesforce.com platform. The really cool stuff is the data science we curate around the changes in human movement and the impacts that has on infection rates will actually be pushed into every public health data lake worldwide. Amazon Web Services will actually handle that. And talking to Microsoft's CTO, he basically said these three solutions are interesting, but if you do an integration with Facebook with 3 billion monthly active users, suddenly you have roughly half of the world's population benefiting from the tech stack you have. And this is government funding. Today, the US, the EU, and other regions are allocating billions of dollars to build out tech solutions like this. In terms of where we are, if you are familiar with this continuity model developed by NASA, we're actually at moving into stage 9. The mobile app has been through a POC, MVP1, and MVP2 build. We are waiting for approvals from the app exchanges. The IP behind it is significant. There are 14 patents filed. The first patent, which is privacy related, will be issued by the USPTO next month. We expect, because of the omnibus platform, the others to follow. There's another 10 to 15 patents that will flow from this. And this is how we build around the world. We are working with WHO Africa, CDC Africa to deploy our tech in 54 countries with 20% of the world's population. The app is free, sponsored through the Ministry of Health. The build partners are Salesforce, AWS, NTT, and the two public health agencies. In Africa, we're holding a summit to launch this, probably in Casablanca in February. And the goal is, with a continent that has vaccination rates at 5% and from which Omicron originated, to deploy our tech to safeguard the people in the 54 member countries. The models, this is a US TAM only, and what we are looking at is the drag along from premiums versus free downloads. We think we can, in 3 to 4 months, have 1 million mobile downloads. The net premiums to us after rev share with the exchanges is 140 million. There's lots of ways to value that, but at a minimum, the bankers have told us that's $1 billion valuation, a single product in a single market. The board has some very well-known people. Campbell was vice chair at Deloitte. Albert Black's the wealthiest Black philanthropist in Dallas area, but it's a well-vetted leadership team, and the executives on our company's leadership team are well-tenured technology executives. I'd like to see if I have time to do a real quick demonstration of the actual app.
Want to stay healthy without staying home? Now you can move freely while managing your COVID-19 exposure risk. Introducing RoamWell, a free app that lets you move smarter. Just put in an address and see the COVID-19 exposure risk for places you go, like work, school, or travel. It's as easy as checking the forecast for rain. Go someplace often? Add it to your favorite places. Then its location risk index and even local guidelines are at your fingertips. And with RoamWell's personal risk index, you know your risk of serious illness if you get COVID-19. RoamWell is private, secure, and anonymous. RoamWell from Pandemic Insights. Smart tools for safer movement.